G'day, I'm Warwick Schiller and time for another blog. You know, today I was helping a lady with a horse in the round pen and I was talking to her about something I read in a book. I think it might have been The Nature of Horses, but it was about how they tried to... We were talking about separation anxiety, and they were talking about, in this book, they were talking about how they did an experiment and they tried to introduce like communism, like equality in a herd of horses, where there was no leader and there was no second horse and no third horse and all the way down to 10. And I forget exactly how they did it. I'm not sure how they did the whole thing, but they tried to get to where horses couldn't boss another one around. So imagine, I'm not sure if they did it with like a shock collar and every time a horse tried to bother another one they got a little zap or something or other. I'm not exactly sure how that worked. No, don't do that. But anyway, what happened was, because there was no pecking order in this horse herd, no one who knew who was in charge, all those horses had the same behavioural issues that you see poorly trained horses that people have had. They all had separation anxiety. Albert, what are you doing? They all had separation anxiety, they were spooky, they were jumpy, they were nervous, they had just all the things that you see horses have that they really shouldn't have when people ride them poorly, that you never see in a herd situation. And so that all, and a lot of times in human terms, that all comes about because, you know, the people try to make it equal, like, well, you know, I don't really want to be in charge, but I don't want you to be in charge either. And they kind of, you know, hey, if you want your horse to be in charge, by all means, go ahead, let him be in charge. But then you can't ask him to ever do anything because he'll tell you to get lost. They don't, you know, so anyway, they tried to introduce that in a herd of horses and it was total anarchy, it was total chaos. The horses were all, they all went nutty and did things that horses don't normally do in the wild. So that's just something to think about. You know, if you haven't read that book, it's a really good book. It's called The Nature of Horses. And if it's not in that one, I'm sorry, I can't remember what book it was in, but it was a really good story that I was telling this lady this morning, that those horses all went a bit cuckoo. So anyway, something to think about. Hope that helps. See you guys next time.